3 people have been arrested following statewide New South Wales police investigations into the supply of drugs in Moree. Around 6 a.m. yesterday, Strikeforce Bullshark officers executed search warrants at homes on Chester, Anne, Dover and Edward Street in Moree. They seized more than $10,000 in cash as well as cannabis, methamphetamine, ammunition, knuckle dusters, knives and motorbikes. A 21-year-old man was arrested on Chester Street and a 49-year-old woman was arrested on Edward Street. Both have been granted conditional bail.
A man charged over a police pursuit that left 2 officers injured will remain behind bars after facing Tamworth local court today. Cameron Leith Wood is facing 18 charges relating to the June 4 incident. The 28-year-old will return to court on September 11.
A new aquatic centre is set to be built in Tamworth, with local councillors voting to borrow the extra money needed for the multi-million-dollar project. It was a unanimous decision that's been welcomed by stakeholders, but the Ratepayers Association says it'll hit residents in the hip pocket.
A $45 million project, decades in the making.
And I think last night was a very momentous decision that we made in terms of actually agreeing to fund that new facility.
But it comes with a hefty cost for ratepayers. Tamworth Regional Council voting unanimously to seek a $30 million loan to build the aquatic centre.
It's just another jewel in the crown of excellence for our sporting bodies in Tamworth. We are attracting so many people to our regions. They're supporting our businesses.
Council says it was the last chance to make the project happen because the state government's $15 million contribution expires if not spent by June 2026.
If we lose it, we'll never get it again in our lifetimes. We need to do something about that.
Without the grant, Council says it couldn't fund the new pool, already scaled back from $61 million. This new loan will be paid back over 20 years. Council hopes the funds will come from land sales at the Global Gateway Park, a rate rise and internal cost cutting.
And there's been nothing built in this city or any other regional city without grant funding and without heavily borrowing to do these projects.
Council determined that building a new centre was more affordable than repairs at existing pools, with Scully Park likely to close once construction is finished. The Tamworth Ratepayers Association believes Council could have compromised.
And for $15 million, rather than requesting more money, that would be sufficient to do up Scully Park and have it as an aquatic centre in the middle of town.
However, Tamworth Water Polo has welcomed Council's decision after campaigning for a centre since the 1990s.
So water polo can happen in one end, swimming, lap swimming, recreation can happen in another, learn to swim can happen.
The project could still be scrapped if the newly elected council votes to do so, but Mayor Russell Webb says that would be unwise.
I think any council that was elected on the 14th of September that wound back a decision would not be a very popular group.
Gabriella Warner, NBN News.
A short film has been released calling on the federal government to support the creation of local energy hubs. Narrabri farmer Sally Hunter is the face of the campaign, saying the initiative could help put an end to misinformation about the transition to renewables.
The face of a national campaign.
It's a very complicated space. You can easily get caught up in the technical issues.
Jenny Energy Director Sally Hunter from Narrabri calling for energy hubs to be set up across the region. Whether in the form of a pop-up shop or dedicated building, members of advocacy organisation RE Alliance would be on hand to meet with the community to discuss locals' renewable energy concerns.
If we could pull all that knowledge together, we would be much stronger individually as well as a network to really understand where communities can get the best opportunities.
Sally's not-for-profit launched 4 years ago to help communities make the renewable energy transition.
Too often we're left behind in rural areas because we don't have someone in our corner that has the knowledge and the understanding and the support.
RE Alliance is now working with the federal government on the move, targeting areas like the New England, Hunter and Central West.
There's a lot of confusion about what it actually means, how many projects there are, where they'll go. There's no bigger picture sort of understanding being built about how all these projects fit together.
But the group wants to see the Treasurer make a funding commitment in the upcoming mid-year economic and fiscal outlook.
The shift to renewable energy is happening. It's happening in Australia. It's happening all around the world. As quickly as we can get these moving, the better.
The Federal Energy Minister was contacted for comment. Rob Douglas, NBN News.
Premier Chris Minns and Agriculture Minister Tara Moriarty will be in Gunnedah next week for AgQuip. More than 2,500 exhibitors will be on site over the 3 days.
Vinnie's return and earn depots across the state have now processed more than 500 million containers, 18 million from Tamworth. The Taminda facility sees up to 250,000 containers deposited weekly. Vinnie's receives a handling fee for every container processed to help residents in need.
Finalists for the Tamworth Business Awards have been decided. 50 judges combed through more than 1,000 applications to determine the top contenders.
It adds a lot of legitimacy to what the businesses are actually offering as far as customer service goes. It's a real great opportunity for businesses that have worked hard all year to be recognised for their hard-earned efforts.
The awards ceremony will be held next month.
Sheep and goat farmers across the New England are being encouraged to attend Q&A sessions ahead of the rollout of mandatory electronic identification tags next year. The Northern Tablelands Local Land Services will hold workshops over the next month. From January 1, all sheep and goats across New South Wales must be fitted with a tag before leaving their property. Right across the region today, it was wet and overcast, but still relatively cool. Warmer tomorrow. Details soon.